Hey Sam. It's great to see you again. Today, we're diving into the word
Studium.
Hi Alex.
Studium.
Huh? What does that mean?
Studium.
means study in English, but it can also refer to a course of study or academic program. The most common usage is referring to the act of studying or the time spent in education.
Oh, interesting. Are there any false friends I should watch out for?
Yes, definitely. Don't confuse
Studium.
with the English word studio. They sound similar, but they mean very different things. Now, let's talk about the grammar.
Studium.
Is a neuter noun, so you'll use the article.
Das.
Its plural form is
Studien.
So, if I want to say the studies, I would say
Die Studien.
exactly. In terms of usage, you might say
Ich habe ein Studium begonnen.
which means I started a course of study. In the past tense, you could say
Ich begann mein Studium.
and in perfect, it's
Ich habe mein Studium begonnen.
got it. What about the imperative?
the imperative isn't commonly used for,
Studium.
since it describes a state rather than an action. The word
Studium.
comes from the Latin word,
Studium.
which means zeal or eagerness. It has evolved over time to refer specifically to academic pursuits.
That's fascinating. I didn't know it had Latin roots.
Yes. It reflects a strong desire to learn. This historical context adds depth to the word. Let's break it down a bit.
Studium.
Consists of the root
Stud.
from Latin, meaning to study. There's no prefix or suffix in this case. So, it's straightforward.
That makes sense. So, it's all about the act of studying.
Exactly. There's no complex breakdown, but it's a strong word in the academic context. Now, let's explore some similar words. For example, with the same root,
Stud.
we have,
Studieren.
which means to study.
What are some others?
Well, there's,
Student.
meaning student, and,
Studiengang.
meaning course of study. Both relate to education. Then, there's,
Studienplatz.
which means study place or spot in a program.
Those are helpful. Any more?
Certainly. We also have
Studienführer,
meaning study guide, and
Studienordnung,
which means study regulations.
Wow, that's quite a few.
And don't forget
Studienabschlüsse,
meaning academic degrees, and
Studienzeit.
which means study time. Now let's practice some real-life situations. Imagine you're at a university. You could start with
Ich möchte mich für ein Studium anmelden.
Ich möchte mich für ein Studium anmelden.
perfect. Another situation could be at an academic fair. You might say,
Ich interessiere mich für verschiedene Studiengänge.
Ich interessiere mich für verschiedene Studiengänge.
you're getting it. Lastly, if you're chatting with a friend about your studies, you could say,
Ich habe mein Studium abgeschlossen.
Ich habe mein Studium abgeschlossen.
great job. Just a quick tip about gender. Since
Studium,
ends in,
ium,
it's neuter. A pattern to remember is that many words ending in
ium.
are neuter.
That's a good hint.
Also, for compounds, remember that the gender follows the last noun in the compound. As for usage,
Studium,
is generally formal, often used in academic contexts. Typical collocations include phrases like
das Studium aufnehmen,
which means to start a study,
das Studium abschließen,
meaning to complete a study, and
das Studium finanzieren.
meaning to finance studies.
Those are useful.
Just be careful not to confuse it with
Studi,
which is an informal term for a student. Let's wrap this up with some example sentences. You might say,
ich studiere an der Universität.
which means I study at the university.
Ich studiere an der Universität.
Excellent. Another one could be,
Mein Studium hat 3 Jahre gedauert.
meaning my studies lasted 3 years.
Mein Studium hat 3 Jahre gedauert.
Perfect. Here's another.
Ich habe mehrere Studien zum Thema gelesen.
Meaning I read several studies on the topic.
Ich habe mehrere Studien zum Thema gelesen.
Nicely done. Let's do a quick recall check. What is the article for?
Studium,
It's
Das.
Correct. And what's the plural form?
Studien.
Right again. Now, can you give me an example sentence using
Studium,
in the past tense?
Ich begann mein Studium.
Yes. Great job.
I'm on a roll.
Last 2 questions. What's the meaning of
Studiengang,
It's course of study.
Exactly. And what's a common mistake people make with
Studium,
Mixing it up with studio.
right? You've got it. To summarize, today we learned about
Studium,
which means study and has its roots in Latin. Remember the gender and the useful phrases we discussed.
I really enjoyed this lesson.
I'm glad to hear that. Keep practicing, and soon you'll feel even more confident with these words.
I will. Thanks, Alex.